Hello to you, welcome to my channel. This topic was based off of the quote you see right here, and that is the quote by Vince Lombardi. It's one of my favorite quotes and I read it often. It's one of those quotes that you it just makes you think. It's not something that you just look at the quote and you say, okay, well, that's easy to accomplish. Some goals in life, there's quotes attached to them that have inclinations like, well, you just read this quote and they'll figure it out, like a fortune cookie type of deal, right? What I love about this quote is that it is 100% true, and it applies to very different things. Now, you can look at the mountaintop as a success, meaning you've reached the top, you've made it, you've made all the money, you got the best spouse you can have, you got the best kids you can have, you went to the best school, you got the best education, you got the best car. You can look at it as everything being the best. But what I like about that quote is that it just does not simply mean success, meaning financially and what you've attained in life, your status in life, where you live in your neighborhood, the best job you have. It also applies to how you got to be where you are as a person. And that's something I think a lot of people forget about, is that, and I've talked about this on different videos, about the definition of success and the many steps it takes to get to success for each individual, because each individual has a different definition of success for themselves based on where they are in their lives. Obviously, a definition for success for somebody who's 25 is going to be different than somebody who's 65, because that person who's 65 has already amounted a lifetime of things that they have shaped them and taught them to be what they are at that time. Well, a 25-year-old, in a way, is still trying to figure themselves out. They still want to figure out what they're going to be. They got plenty of time to make adjustments. So obviously what they look at as success might be completely different at those stages in life. And that's something I've had to figure out for myself. That success for me back when I was 25 meant something completely different at age 38, where I'm at right now. What I define as success, I always start with the number one thing for you to get any type of success, and it has to be the success of yourself. You have to be successful in shaping yourself before you can start saying, I want to reach the mountaintop and have people look upon me as somebody who has, quote unquote, made it. Somebody who has become the man, the woman, the person who is the boss, got all the cars, the money, the beautiful husband, the beautiful wife, all that stuff. Perfect kids, white picket fence. All that stuff comes in when you start shaping yourself first, for better or for worse, because some people don't successfully shape themselves into the best person and still achieve all that stuff, which is why I said, looking up at the mountain, whoever's up there, that doesn't mean whoever's up there is good. It's great. That just means they managed to get to a place where you as an individual thinks that's the definition of success, where somebody else might feel like the definition of success is just being the best person they can be. So it works both ways. You can look up at that mountain and see somebody up there who has done everything right, have shaped themselves, and they're helping everybody else, and they want everybody to see, hey, I'm up here for a reason. The journey to the top of that mountain is very hard, and it starts with yourself. And I've told that to so many people, and if you read this quote will help you in life in so many different ways, because nobody achieves success without hard work. It's almost impossible. The people who have achieved it without hard work, in most cases, don't appreciate what they have because they didn't go through anything to obtain it. So if somebody just walks up to you and hands you $1 million, you can take the money, but you'll never know how to make it for yourself. Somebody can hand you the perfect spouse. You just say, hey, marry her, marry him. That doesn't mean you know how to get one on your own. Somebody can hand you a kid that's 18 years old and say, hey, look, this kid's perfect. This is your kid. You can say, oh, hey, I can take credit for that, right? It's my kid. No, but when you have a kid for yourself, you won't know how that kid got to be that way. So you have to go through things before you can successfully say you are a success. And I define it differently than a lot of other people, but I always say, if you can figure out how to make yourself successful, your presence successful, then everything else will fall into place over time. It's not going to happen overnight. I do not like for people just to hand me things and say, there you go, son. No way. I have never liked that. And that's one thing I can't say about myself. I've never liked handouts. I like to earn every single thing I have. And I don't want it to be easy, because the moment it becomes easy, then expectations upon it from myself and with others. People will see you be like, oh, well, hey, this guy just got this out of nowhere. Let's just go hang out with this. People don't want to hang out with you all the time if you're working hard for something. They only want to hang out with you when something's coming easy. Which is why a lot of your friends, you'll find out who they are. Once you start saying, hey, I'm going to put these goals together, and it's going to be hard as fuck. But I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. See how many of them tag along the journey. The journey's too long. It's too much. They don't want to support you that much. But the moment you reach your goal, they'll be back. Trust me, they'll be back. And that's what's disappointing about people. It's always the easy way out. I love the journey. I love the path. I don't want a straight path. I want that path to be just weaving in and out of everything. I don't want to see it. I want to take turns. I want it to be forked. I want to go down the wrong path and say, oh, whoa, let me backpedal out of here. Because you already see where it's going. If you don't see the bad paths, how are you going to know when the good ones are there? It's a very simple thing. But you also have to see the mountain. You have to have something to reach for. And you have to have something that is obtainable for you that you can consider success. But take it in steps. Don't take it in leaps and bounds. You find the step and you take it. There's a video I'm going to do for a follow-up to this one. And we're going to talk about taking the first step. But I wanted to address that mountain. Because that mountain is large. No matter what you do. Going up to the top of any mountain physically is difficult. Mentally, it's even harder. It's always harder to get yourself up to do something that's challenging enough where you know your day is not going to be easy, your week's not going to be easy, your year is not going to be easy. But that's the fun of it for me. I love the fact that it's a challenge. It's not going to be easy. And no matter what I do, as long as I try to get there, I'm going to be better off for it. So keep that in mind. Whenever you see somebody who's successful, whenever you see somebody who has done what you want to do, know that most of the time that person has gone through hell to get there. That person has earned it. And the ones who haven't, you'll know those too. Just by talking to them. Because they won't have the same attitude as somebody who has worked their ass off and earned it. And has not settled for what they've earned. They're ready to go to the next step. The journey doesn't end on the mountain. There's stuff above that. Get to the top of the mountain and start looking again for the next highest one. There's always a bigger mountain. There's always something better you could be doing. But at the same time, if you reach someplace and you feel comfortable in it, I've always said this. You can stay there too. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. You may see somebody on a mountain over there that is a lot higher than yours. That person may be fucking miserable as well. Or they may be the happiest person on the planet. But as long as you're comfortable and you're happy with your definition of success, no matter how high your mountain was to climb, as long as you're happy with it, that is what counts. And that is the message of this video. I'll leave it there. See you guys on the next one. Be you, be genuine, but above all, be safe. See you next time.